It is loading. Loading. Okay, everybody, we are now live. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We are streaming live now, so we'll do roll call. Mr. Freitas,
I Ken Freitas here.
Mr. Davis,
I'm Mike Davis here.
Mr. Quesada,
Hi, Jaime Quesada.
Ms. Gonzalez will join here in a few minutes when she's able to. We will announce that when she logs in. And absent this morning is from the board is Ms. Montoya. Okay, next item, Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the next item is approval of agenda and previous minutes. These were emailed to you a couple of days ago. The agenda is for this morning's meeting, June 25th, 2025, and the minutes were from the previous meeting, which was May 21st, 2025, and that is Exhibit A. Ms. Priscilla is displaying that on your screen at this moment. While everybody's reviewing that, Mr. Freitas, since you were at the conference a couple of weeks ago and went to, and maybe Sam can help us out as well, went to the training. If Ms. Gonzalez doesn't hop on here in the next couple of minutes, are we able to come back to items number 3 and 4 and move on to say the items 5 or 6 on the agenda and then return to items 3 and 4? In other words, can we go out of order?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agenda for June 25th, 2025. The minutes for May 21st, 2025.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Freitas, for making the motion to approve item number 2, the agenda and the minutes.
A second.
Thank you, Mr. Davis, for the second. Mr. Freitas, did you want to, per the training that you went to, did we want to do a roll call for that? For that
Yeah, let's do the
motion?
roll. Yeah, we'll do the roll call first, then I'll.
For the approval of the motion in the second?
Well, I guess, can't you just, say it was unanimously done, there was no rejection or what?
Yeah, is that what, okay, yeah, I wasn't at that session, so yeah, I'll take your recommendation there. Seeing no opposition? Okay, the motion has unanimously carried. Okay, thank you. Again, Ms. Gonzalez will join here in a few minutes, so we're going to move to open forum. And we'll come back to items 3 and items 4, if that's okay with everybody.
It's okay with me.
Okay. Okay, so There is nobody in the Zoom waiting room. We are currently at the school. There is nobody here at the school that wants to participate in public comment through the open forum. So we can move on to item number 5, which is discussion and action for fiscal, and I'll let our school business official, Ms. Priscilla, go over this item.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I am combining April and May's financials for this presentation just because I wasn't here for the last meeting. So I do have those pulled up and they were sent out prior to the meeting. So our first is our budget updates. So this is through May 31st, 2025. You'll see a lot of our funding is out of that red where it was designated that we had either 50% or more in that funding. While we do still have items that are highlighted in red, some of these are carryover amounts, so we will be able to spend them through September 30th. And that is true, especially like for our Medicaid money right here, 25153. Our spaceport money here, those are all carryover funds. So we're able to move them year to year with us without having to spend that entire budget down. Moving on to revenue. Again, I just want to remind everyone, this is 2 months of revenue combined. So we are seeing RFRs, our student nutrition reimbursements, some vending machine checks for the portion that we received back, and a few others. So we're totaling $699,344 for the months of April and May 2025. And over to the right, we have a couple pending RFRs as of the time that these reports were sent out. So we're totaling about $50,000 in RFRs pending. That should go up by the next meeting since we have until July 7th to get everything submitted for reimbursement for current year. Does anyone have any questions on revenue received? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to disbursements. So disbursements for April and May are totaling $649,534. Again, this is the time of year where we're closing out POs, getting all these contracts paid out. So that is kind of normal for this time of year to see that high number, and especially if we're combining 2 months. Move on to visuals. Just gonna see Excel sheet here. So again, you'll see our 24-25 budget that we have submitted in OBMS, and the yellow orange line is where we're actually at as far as those expenditures. You will see a couple budget adjustment requests come through just for the cleanup at the end of the year. Like for example, this legal portion here of the report, we did have a little bit more actual expenditures than we had budgeted this year, and that was due to some of the renewal support that we had received. So that will be included in the bars for next meeting. Next is our reimbursable funds chart. You'll see we have come pretty close to spending down our allocations. Some of those, like I said, are carryover amounts. But I feel like if you go back to our budget report here, you will see kind of where we're at in those funds and actually getting closer to the spend down. And this is our revenue comparison to April and May of 2024. You'll see in the orange, we are looking at a lot more revenue coming in, especially for these grant funds that we maybe hadn't had been, or RFRs submitted and being received. Does anyone have any questions on the budget reports as presented? Okay, I'm going to move on to our action items for fiscal. We have 3 bars for approval this meeting. The first is an increase in our Title I funding. We did receive our final award and carryover for 24-25. So what we had been approved to do was go ahead and apply some of the salary and benefits from our math instructor, where we've picked up in our operating fund, into our 24101 to be able to have that reimbursed for the end of the year, and also have some of that that carryover spent down. The amount of this bar is $96,393. The next bar is an initial budget bar. This is for our GRIP program. We had received a check for $4,000 that we are actually able to carry over into next year and use. So what I've done is allocate it in this fund 29102 to be able to have that available for us next year, and to spend down with our graduation re-engagement internship program. The last bar we have is for $19,008. This is for our IDEA B fund. And again, this is a final award and carryover memo. We do have until September 30th to kind of get this spent down. And we do have a plan for that as well. Does anyone have any questions on the bars as presented? Okay. Our next action item is our actual 25-26 IDEA B application. This is the checklist that we are required to submit to PD at the time the application is completed. There are a couple categories in which we are not able to fully complete at the time the application is due. For example, board signatures, presentation to the board. I did miss that last meeting, so we're wanting to hopefully get this approved this meeting, and we're here in phase 2. As you can see, the approvals of our governing board, our director, business manager, and SPED director. So once this is all completed, I'll go ahead and upload everything into the portal. This was included in the board packet, which includes the entire application that was submitted. So I'll just bring up that budget page so you can see the outline of what our proposed expenditures are. As in previous years, we're using this funding to support our SLP, psych, nurse, and diagnostician at the school. We also have budget proposed for a 0.5 SPED EA, as well as their benefits. And the last item that we included for 25-26 in this funding is a contract service for SPED coordination services. We're hoping to work with JMP Academy to provide these for Las Montañas. Does anyone have any questions on the IDEA B application? Okay. And this is the final signature page here that will be uploaded. And then on to our last action item. This is the annual resolution that we pass each year. This is for 25-26 school year to be able to submit maintenance increase in transfer bars but still bring them back to the board for approval as they're processed. So this is just the resolution allowing us to do that in OBMS, to kind of remove some of those time restraints, meeting with the board and getting that approved beforehand. But like I said, these will be presented monthly as they always have been. There'll be a running record of each bar that has been approved by the board. If there aren't any questions on the financials, I think that's all I have for this month.
Hi, Ms. Gonzalez.
Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry I'm late. These 10 o'clocks are gonna start getting harder and harder for me to attend. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We can talk about moving it another time if we need to.
Okay.
Okay, let the record reflect that Ms. Gonzalez has joined at 10:21. Ms. Gonzalez, we did skip items 3 and 4 to wait for you.
Okay.
And we are on item 5. Ms. Priscilla has just finished presenting item 5 and April and May 2025 financials, and all of the items under B there. The bars that we need to approve, there's 3 of them, the IDEAB application
Right.
and the annual bar resolution. And does anybody have any questions over any of those items that Ms. Priscilla just presented there? Okay, if there's no questions, we can
Motion.
entertain motion. Yes.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we take action and approve April and May 2025 financials. Exhibit C, action items, bar fund 24-101, bar fund 29-102, bar fund 24-106, 25-26 idea B application, exhibit A, 25-26 annual bar resolution, exhibit E.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Freitas, for making a motion to approve all of the items under our agenda item number 5. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Quesada, for that second.
Dean? No opposition? Motion carried.
Motion unanimously carries. We learned that we need to put that in there, Ms. Gonzalez.
Oh, unanimously. Okay, good. Sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on now to item number 6, and then we'll backtrack to items 3 and 4 afterwards. So thank you, everybody, for allowing some of that flexibility. I'm going to start with our summer enrollment. We did end the year with 167 students after graduating our 30+ seniors, and then losing a few, of the underclassmen that didn't graduate to different reasons. We closed the year. We're about to roll over the next school year with re-enrolling 167 students. And we currently have 77 brand new students that have expressed interest in enrolling with us. We have their information, their names, their phone numbers, their address. And Miss Leslie is currently working on registration packets and making those phone calls for those 77 potential students to come in and be officially enrolled before the start of our new school year, which does begin with the first day of instruction, 14th, on July 15th. So we are very happy with that number and the potential number that we're going to begin the school year with. And then obviously, as the school year progresses, before we hit 40 days in October, we're very confident that we will meet our budgeted projection for 40 days. and hopefully exceed it like we did this year. Next item, I just wanted to give you a quick update on the CTE Vision. There were 4 students that did receive employment offers in the construction industry based on the education home that they built over the course of this past school year. So they're currently working with framers and also concrete contractors. So, you know, the whole point of this entire vision is to provide students with that opportunity. So, you know, 4 of those seniors who were working on that home and did graduate are now in the industry already this summer, working with those contractors. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. There were more students that obviously built that home, but they weren't seniors. So obviously the priority to get jobs was for those seniors who are starting their lives at this point. One of them has a young baby. So he was very excited to get that job offer, be able to take care of himself and his family. And actually another one was an underclassman. She's going to return to our school next year and probably graduate early from what she's scheduled to graduate because she's doing so well. And again, it's just, you know, having a female in that typically male-driven industry is we're very proud of that as well. And then we have some students on the summer internship program that are working. One of them working here with us and others placed in different areas in the community. So we're going to just keep pushing that vision and keep trying to provide these opportunities for our students, you know, for career versus, you know, typically teenagers get jobs at low wage, low demand type of jobs. We're trying to change that, obviously. So the fact that we got kids out working in the community in careers is something that we should all be really proud of. Next item is the Charter School Division Conference happened 2 weeks ago. Mr. Kevin Freitas did attend and receive his full training hours at that 2-day conference. I attended. Mr. Estrada, Mr. Sandoval, Ms. Priscilla, Mr. and Mrs. Salas were there, mostly chaperoning students. We did have a student showcase. We recreated our national school redesign showcase that we did in DC a couple of months ago at our local state conference, along with 3 other charters around the state. They had a table or a booth that they showcased their work. They talked to a lot of, you know, adults, a lot of charter people in the charter community around the state. We had 4 students there. So it was a very productive week for everybody. Some good sessions. Again, Mr. Freitas received all of his hours and hopefully learned quite a bit there attending those sessions and able to do some networking, make connections, and provide a good experience for those 4 students as well. Just an update on the governing council training hours. I did speak to Mr. Quesada unofficially before the meeting started. We're going to talk. I'm going to send him some an email from the Charter School Division from Missy Brown so he can get his training hours done. Other than that, everybody is good. Everybody has completed their training, including Mr. Freitas, Ms. Montoya, Ms. Gonzalez. I believe you've been done, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Davis was done around in December when he went to the PCSNM conference. So he's confirmed to have completed his hours as well.
If I could just say, Mr. Martinez, I just want to make sure, you know, as a board, I know that we're doing this and we're volunteering to assist in this, but we really need to be better as a board in getting our training done prior to year end. I mean, that's been a trend that we've had as a board for a long time. The courses are remote available. There's also different things, you know, that we can complete, but I really think as a board, we want to try to get as much done as we can before December for next school year. So I think that we should just take that as an action item as far as challenging the board. I mean, maybe nothing official, but let's try to get all of our annuals done by the end of December 2025 so that we're not scrambling year end.
Okay, thank you for that, Ms. Gonzalez. I'll do a better job of, providing some of those, letting you all know about some of those opportunities. The PCSNM conference is gonna happen again in December, so you get all your training hours done there.
Yep.
And then the Charter School Division Conference is always in June. So if anybody has completed their training hours for the current year, that Charter School Division Conference, if attended, and if you have already completed your hours, will count for the next year's training hours as well. So just FYI there. If you do choose to attend both conferences and get your training done, in that way, then you could attend both conferences and have, in the same calendar year and have your training completed for the following year as well. Yes, like you said, there are other options. Is the Canvas option.
Yeah.
And then there's the synchronous or asynchronous training hours offered by PCSNM and the Charter School Division, which is, I believe, the route that Ms. Gonzalez that you took.
Super easy.
Cool. All right, the last item in my report is our new name. With a new name comes new colors, new logos, and a whole new design. So I'm gonna have Ms. Priscilla pull up how we're going to change our building as far as our environmental design. Right now, you're looking at a graphic that shows you our main entrance to the school. So if you can see there on that bottom right, that's kind of the admin offices where you enter the school. And that's our whole cafeteria and kind of main area that all of our students, staff, and visitors kind of enter the school from. Currently, that big wall there that you're seeing is our current colors that's going to be sunsetted at the end of this month, and our new color is going to officially take into effect and new name and everything on July 1. So it's going to be painted with that design that you see right there. On the far left is our cafeteria and our serving kitchen. There's a wall there by our admin offices where Amy sits. You can see those windows on the right. In the front there'll be some logos there that you can't really see from this graphic. And then the main wall that everybody looks at, you can see there's going to be some mountains there, some clouds, Ram territory. And then going up and down the stairwells, there's some designs there. You can see that Ram, follow your path. It goes along with our theme, our career pathways that we're offering. Then on the other staircase, you can see the mountains and the trail with the S in the mountain cut out for Sendero. So you can see what that looks like there. That's going to happen here the next couple of weeks as far as the painters coming in the design team to get that taken care of before we start the next school year. Priscilla can go to the next page. And that is actually the logos in that main area, the main cafeteria by the reception office, Amy's desk. I'm kind of looking out to the cafeteria, and then where the serving line is going to be that official school name in that serving line. And then of course you see the logo in that other wall. So we're excited to get that work started and completed, and have our school community kind of come to a fresh new design as far as our walls in our building. So every other wall that's in our building that is currently that crimson color is going to be painted and designed similar to the colors you're seeing right there.
It looks great.
Yes, I'm very happy with that design, and I'm very excited to have them get started and be able to showcase that. We are going to have an event, kind of a grand opening event with our new name change on July 18th. So I'll make sure you guys all get that invite. All the details being worked on right now. But basically we're going to have like I said, a grand opening kind of name change event, try to get our Sendero name out there in the community, make sure people understand and realize that we're still Las Montañas, the same school, the same people, you know, the same students, the same board, but we just have this new name change to get out there, and we hope that event will help kind of spur that. We have our signs that we are gonna change out in front of our school to make sure that that gets done. But that event is going to include, you know, some activities, some food trucks, some music, some kind of showcases of what we're doing, and hopefully be well attended by the community, our industry partners, by you all, and kind of help us, you know, really kickstart the new school year, with our whole rebranding.
Mr. Martinez, I think it'd be a great idea if we possibly get with like the Las Cruces Sun News and see if we can do an article
Yeah.
on the change and maybe the involvement of the school, because in that way that'll give us additional visibility within the community, but that it also looks at the positive way that Las Montañas has grown, you know, because, you know, name changes sometimes scare people. And maybe
Right.
that will be a proactive way for us to do that and get some free advertising on top of it.
Yes, we definitely are going to invite them, as well as the television media as well.
Oh, God, nice. Let me know, and whatever I can do, I can take the day off that day and help out with whatever I can.
Okay, yeah, that invite is almost done.
Okay.
NMCO is completing that, and they're almost finished with it. So as soon as I get that, I'll send that out to everybody, that we can mark it on your calendars and then share it with your contacts as well.
For sure. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, that's all I have for the superintendent's report, so we can now go back to item 3 and go into closed session to discuss I guess my evaluation and my upcoming contract. So
So is there a motion to go into, we need to have a motion to go into closed session. So someone is
correct.
motion.
I'll make the motion to go into closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Quesada, for that motion. Mr. Davis, thank you for that second.
Seeing no opposition, how do I say it again? I forgot.
Motion unanimously carries.
Motion unanimously passed.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now, stop the live streaming. Then when we get back on, I will we'll start that again.
Okay, so the recording stopped. We got that.
Trying to stop the live stream, yeah. Bear with me while where is it?